Hello everyone, and welcome to Guys with Cameras TV. I'm Mike Zahora.
I'm Ed Lau, and this is the news.
This is the news.
How do we do that every time? Like, we never know what to say right at the beginning.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know, but okay.
Yeah.
So I guess we're going to start off with, we've already mentioned the Zeiss Lens.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so let's get the picture of it up so everybody can drool over.
Well, it's worth mentioning again because one, it's freaking awesome looking. I mean, look at this thing; it's beautiful.
It's awesome.
It is a piece of modern art, but it is also extremely expensive, and it's the apparently the sharpest lens ever.
Well, Zeiss claims
made.
that it's the absolute best lens in the world.
In the world.
And the tests that are out there right now, everybody's saying, yes, that is the case. Mm-hmm. It's like ridiculously sharp, edge to edge. It at wide open, it loses like 1.6 stops from the center to the corner, and when it goes down to 2.8, it's only like half a stop, so it's not even. So
the vignetting is not even an issue.
Not even an issue.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a 50. I mean, it's not that hard to do that on a 50. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's an amazing achievement, but a lot of 50s are very sharp for, I don't know, like a lot less money.
A lot less money. Is it worth $4,000?
Is it worth? Well,
for some people, I
think that if you're doing it for like work and you need the absolute best lens, then yeah. But for the rest of us, I mean, this is a pipe dream.
Yeah. Like, I'm actually waiting for this to come out in the new Sony mount. And then put it on the A7R, and then they'll just kind of blow everything out of the water.
It's going to be insane. Like I couldn't even imagine that on the new because that thing, the sensor on that is really sharp.
It's ridiculously sharp. Again, so if Zeiss does that, then I think that would be like the ultimate resolution package.
I think we should also mention that sharpness isn't everything. I mean, it's something, definitely, it's something, but it's not everything. I mean,
wait, you want like a little shallow depth of field thing? And
yeah, I mean, but I mean, we all have these awesome tests and whatever to tell us how sharp a lens is, when we all know it's more about the picture. It's not about how,
But you know what? Having a sharp picture as opposed to an unsharp
blurry picture. Sometimes the blurry works, but I agree with you. It just seems like a lot for $4,000. I mean, or how much does this thing cost? $4,000? Yeah, $4,000. Yeah, it seems like a lot.
If I had $4,000 in my,
I'd be all I would just have this on my bookshelf or something. It's so beautiful. Anyway,
I'm waiting for the coffee mug version of it.
Yeah, we're just gonna carry it around. I think it's not that big, is it? So it's gonna be like an espresso.
It's a fair size.
Okay.
It's definitely a fair size. Okay. It's bigger than the average 50 ml, so it's more than an espresso.
Well, it's friggin' gorgeous. I would actually use that as a coffee mug every day. Not a $4,000 coffee mug, but still.
Well, I mean, so it looks like it.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
Next
thing is, now Ed, you're the owner of a GoPro.
I have a GoPro Hero 3, and one of the things on the GoPro Hero 3 is that the battery life is terrible.
It sucks.
Absolutely awful. Each battery maybe lasts under an hour, maybe 50 minutes.
Well, online
depending on what
about
setting.
40 minutes, and
something like that. So what the CagePro does is not only does it protect your GoPro. I mean, the GoPro is already very, very sturdy, as we've seen on .com Pro. It's baby-proof. And but this makes it even stronger, so you can drop it out of planes or whatever the heck you want to do. And in the front here, they've added a filter thread, which is very important for the GoPro because it doesn't seem to know how bright your surroundings are sometimes. Yeah. So it has that really strobe effect when it goes high shutter speed outdoors. What this allows you to do is put an ND filter on the end.
Perfect.
So you get great cinematic shots at 24, at 30, at slower shutter speeds, and the best thing about this is it gives you the ability to use Canon LP-E6
batteries,
on it, which is the standard battery we use on the 5D Mark III over there, and I think it goes for 150 without this handle.
It goes 150 without the handle and 180 with the handle.
With the handle, yeah.
Now, in my opinion, getting that handle is probably a great thing to have. I mean, it just makes it so much easier.
If you carry your GoPro by hand,
yeah. But some people, that would come in handy. But even if you're filming like a regular, you've got something to hold on to.
For an extra $30.
The little tiny camera that you're trying to balance, I think that would make it a lot easier.
I think it's a great idea. It's a little expensive for my taste still. I mean, $150 for a cage is, especially one for a GoPro, it's so specialized of an item. But $150 is not that bad. It was going for $99 when it was Kickstarter, so
so
I would have done it. But I don't feel like I really need it at this point.
Okay.
Like it's, yeah.
Okay.
It's really cool, but yeah.
And the next thing, RODE microphones. So they introduced this a few days ago. $100,
Right.
no settings. It's basically you put it on your camera, plug and play.
Doesn't need power.
Doesn't
no,
need power.
No batteries.
That's it. It's ready to go.
Right.
Right? And that's,
I mean, it's everything you need for like a run and gun video shoot.
well, exactly.
I mean, there's no frills, no gimmicks on it, no settings to play around with, I guess.
No.
And it's just a solid mic to use. I mean,
Yeah.
it's better than the mics that are already on the cameras. So.
Yeah, and for $100
For $100
investment, you know,
yeah.
it'll fit pretty much all three of the cameras that we're using here today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that really separates pro video from your home movie is audio.
Is the audio?
It's audio.
Yes.
I mean, people with DSLRs. I mean, we all have the same sort of equipment, but I think audio is what separates it. I mean, if you have good sounding audio,
Yeah.
it just makes your production look all that much more professional.
Yeah, like in our case, you know, we don't use any of the camera's audio.
Yeah.
We just use it to sync up, and we actually have an audio recorder.
We have this thing down here,
Down
which
here.
I'm sounding very loud.
And we've got that set up, and that records our audio, right? And we just use the audio from the cameras to sync up, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same idea, except it's not as you don't need to sync it out of the camera then.
Well, yeah, and you know, if you're doing like something outdoors, like when we did the G6 review,
Right.
we had problems with syncing the cameras because there was just too much external noise.
Yeah.
If we had one of these guys on there, it would be a lot easier
Yeah,
to
it's
sync.
directional and it
Yeah.
cuts out a lot of the buzzing and external noises here and there.
Yep.
I think one of the things with this that I don't really like is that this shock mount, not removable. I
Well,
don't
I
think.
don't know. There seems to be like a little clip there of some
But
sort.
what
but-
would you do with it after? There's no
yeah.
place to
But
mount
you
or
can still
anything.
use you can still use that to attach it
Okay.
to a boom or whatever.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is your mounting point.
Yeah. I just want a little bit more options, but yeah, I guess
For
I guess-
$100?
Yeah, for $100.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with $100.
Exactly.
All right,
And
so moving on. I think this is
lastly,
this is the coolest thing that we've got going on
This
week.
is a Kickstarter project.
Mm-hmm.
Now you saw this, I saw this, and I thought it's kind of cool.
Right.
Do you want to give a little bit more detail on that?
This is called the Palette, I believe. It's a Kickstarter project that somebody's working on. It's basically you have modular systems that you can program that work with Lightroom, with Final Cut, I think. Or,
I don't know about video editing. They didn't
but
mention
Lightroom
very
for
much.
sure. Lightroom and
Lightroom,
and
Photoshop,
stuff like that.
yeah.
And you can adjust using knobs and everything. I think people have been doing this with MIDI boards, and most recently I saw it with an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
Which is really cool because I don't know if you've edited with Lightroom a lot. Like it does get tedious because you're dragging knobs here and there, and you got to scroll up and down and
Yeah.
stuff. And I think something like this, where you wouldn't need to look at the screen and use your mouse, would speed up your workflow considerably.
Well, Wacom's been doing it a little while with their tablets now, where
Yeah.
you use a tablet and a pen to adjust your images, but you also have like little sliders and little dials on it as well, right? So it's kind of a poor man's version.
I don't know.
Of a
If the poor man
Wacom.
version is kind of expensive.
Yeah. So the square one there is a power module, and what you do is you plug in all the other ones into the power module, and then you've got control to do
Yeah.
what you want to do.
I mean, it's a really cool idea. I don't know how practical or easy to use it'll be in real life, but I mean, people swear by using those MIDI board things
Yeah.
sometimes. So I can see this only being an improvement on that because it's more customizable. It's more of a focused product
Yeah.
rather than something that's just repurposed.
Repurposed, yeah.
For Lightroom editing. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about is like these all connect into each other. I'm just worried about how fragile the connections would end up being,
Yeah.
after a while. And
We've all heard horror stories about some Kickstarter projects not meeting, QA standards. So
yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I'd
It's
be
kind
happy
of
to
cool.
check it
Well,
out,
we
yeah.
have to sort of see what happens
Yeah,
when they,
yeah.
if they get funding.
I mean, they've reached 30 grand in one day, so yeah. I mean, they're
and-
already a third of the way there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
news for another week.
the news for another week. I'm Mike Zahora,
I'm Ed Lau. You can find me at Ed Lau on Twitter.
and you can find me on Twitter at Michael Zahora.
Michael Zahora. All right, that's Guys with Cameras TV.
Thanks for watching.